Yeah, thanks for organizers and sponsors to make it possible. Yeah, and let's start with the presentation, a present for a lazy developer, automating code quality control. So, couple words about myself. My name is Alexey Sivets. I'm from Belarus, and I'm founder of Engine 8 company that's located in Minsk, and our core expertise is Drupal. So I worked with Drupal since 6th version, so it's about 10 years. So the talk will be based on 3 assumptions. The first assumption is that quality is not a variable. So when we develop a project, almost anything can be variable: scope, development time, financial efforts, in general like a team efforts. But I truly believe that we as software developers should be keepers and warriors of the idea that the quality is a cornerstone of the software development, of software at all, and it can never be a negotiation point. So, second assumption is a famous humorous Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And of course, it's not a real law, but humorous. But how many comic humorous things we see on our software development practice every day. Yeah, and third assumption, that is a man a little bit lazy. Yeah, I thought that would be a nice description, but nobody likes to be associated with a lazy guy. So let's take the man is a little bit non-conformist. What it means? It means that everybody has their own way to doing things. So I do same, but different. I always try to find my optimal way to software development, coding, and coding standards. Yeah, and it makes it hard to introduce company guidelines, formal agreements, etc. And anything can unify your way of work or result is very hard to introduce. So let's start from actually code problems. Again, from very simple to more complicated. So first one is syntax errors in the code. You might tell me, no, it's not possible in professional company, but again, Murphy's Law and my personal experience tell me that from time to time, you will notice a syntax errors into your repository. So for example, when you simply try to save changes before committing to repository and accidentally insert S letter to the code. Yeah, the second one, it's a little bit more complicated, like when people not following code standards, or they don't have a coding standards at all introduced in the company or team, or they just use different approach to code formatting in the same team. And third type of problems is more complicated problems as structural problems. When your code is not secure, is not performing, or not maintainable. So these things are obvious, and bad code exists. I know that we all can agree on this, but until it works, it works. So we don't want to do anything with it. Maybe, but there are really a lot of risk about having a bad code in your software. So, few things about how the bad code can harm us. First one, not very obvious, it's psychological. Yeah, for example, when you come home after a hard work day and see that your kids or pets turn the whole your house into kindling, so okay, there might be a small under issue. So for me as a software developer, I have pretty much the same feeling when I open a code which looks crappy. So when you see it's really bad. And from my experience, I know that it takes your time just to focus on something, just to start to doing your job. So when you see bad code, you cannot immediately start working, but you have to focus, to concentrate, have another coffee, go to walk, yeah, clean it up, and then only start do your job. So you are pissed off. But yeah, pissed off developer is not efficient developer. So yeah, Second one is reputational, especially in our open source world. Open source things that we are doing, we often share the code to partners, to community members, and way how your code looks. It's a characteristic of your company, of your professionalism, of your personal professionalism. So we should not allow our code to be bad. Yeah, and third, of course, it's time. All in all, bad code make huge economic impact, and you throw the money away, like this. So we have a problem, and we need to find a solution or a way to approach this problem. So what to do? Usually, it's done by combination of two approaches. It's a processes and instruments. As a process, we can introduce something like weekly code reviews, formalize on paper and agreements how we develop code and sign it, whatever agree with the team to follow it. Or we using some tools that can help us to make code better, to track its errors. So in my presentation, we will not focus on processes. We will just quickly look on these tools. So first one was the syntax errors. Yeah, very easy. So we have a built-in native functionality running PHP in lean mode. So where you can track if your code have syntax errors. Yeah, just like on this example. The next one, yeah, is the famous PHP code sniffer. So who uses it in a daily work? Nobody. Not really. Okay, so if you don't know what is this, it's a great tool to analyze your code on evaluation of a code standard. So it has some standards out of the box, but also it's very easy to configure and install Drupal and Drupal practice code standards. So also it's integrates with PHP Storm. So and if you're really a geeky developer, you always can add your own code standards. So, and great thing about code sniffer that is come together with PHP code beautifier and fixer. So this tool, which can do a lot of work for you. So actually, it checks your code against violating those standards, create div, and then automatically applies this div for you. Yeah, of course, it's not true for many fun errors, like missed comment or something like that. So for now, code beautifier will not write a comment for you, unfortunately. Yeah. So this is tool actually track how your code looks and how it's formatted. Yeah, for third type of problems, for structural problems, we often use so-called static analysis tools, which can actually track all your code and try to find is it not performing loops or a class with too many dependencies or whatever, or code is not secure, use unsecure methods. So there are a lot of tools like this, like SonarCube, Exacat. Yeah, really very interesting tools for code analysis, but we are using PHP mess detector. Why? Yeah, just because it's very simple. It's simple and fast. So it does have a huge amount of rule sets, like only 6 rule sets and 40 rules, something about this. Yeah, but it's enough at least to start with the code quality. So, and it has a very simple configuration, just an example, XML file. In our practice, we use PHP mess detector to check in early stage if our code becomes too complicated. Yeah, only several rules that show us, okay, guys, probably it might be a problem with your code. So, okay, we have a problem. We know that we need to resolve this problem, fight this problem, and we need the tooling. So, yes, but the question, how many people will manually run these beautiful tools during daily routine? So when you just add a few lines of the code, when you add one method, yeah, I have actually never met such. Yeah, excuse can be different. That I'm experienced developer and I know how to write my code. I added only one small thing, and so it cannot break actually anything, or cannot make the code worse. Yeah, our code was already so bad that make it's a little bit fancy. It's not the right effort. So, still, how to fight this situation? So maybe let's do more code reviews. Yeah, not weekly but daily, with the whole team. Yeah, or maybe let's punish people who are not following our standards, or probably let's be individually more responsible. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, but I don't think that these are options that we as software developers should follow. So, we all love the word automation. Yeah, and how to automate these tools to work together with us when we add the line of code, when we add one file, when we add one method. Can we do something with this? So often the code quality check is done during the CI process, so continuous integration, continuous delivery, but it takes time. Yeah, it takes time while your build is running. It takes time to get feedback from CI tool. And additional problem, when you run CI tool, the code, bad code sometimes, is already into the repository. So, and we found out that it's much harder get out the bad code when it's already in the repository than before it's there. So, idea. So we thought that a nice idea to integrate with Git, especially with that fact that Git provides a nice opportunity to inject into the process working with Git, and it's Git hooks. Yeah, in our particular case, it's using a pre-commit hook. So pre-commit hook gives you a chance to execute custom script right before the commit is created. So you are able, in this case, to terminate the commit if you want, or on some of the situation. So, just example how it looks. Yeah, for example, we tried to commit a file with syntax error. Yeah, and we see that the error, fix the error, trying to commit it one more time. Yeah, and see that we have formatting issues and can automatically fix it with code beautifier. So this is example, but so how it actually works. So how it looks in real life. In real life, it's a really huge bash script that you can see, which is not easy to understand and maintain. So let's say we did this, and we tried it in our project, and actually it worked for us and made it easier to find errors on a really early stage. So, for example, when I work on the class and try to commit my changes, I will immediately see that there is a problem. A class is too complex, or there are formatting problems. So, why it's important and why it works in our development process is because we have a general rule: commit small. We don't like when our commit is 10,000 files or even 100 files. So commit small, and you really will be flexible with the state of your application. And you saw the check is really very fast. So it's why we're using PHP MD and not, for example, Exacat, so huge tools with a lot of rules. Yeah, and we just make sure that we commit files to the repository they already meet particular standards. But the problem with this script that is hard to maintain and reuse. So actually, how would I create new Git hooks and share it in my new project? And again, first I need to install and configure all these dependencies like a code sniffer and other. So solution. Yeah, we would like to include composer package that will do everything for us, that will install all dependencies, and that will help us to write a huge bash script automatically. So, yeah, we created our own composer package. You can see it by the link on the slide. So it's still in alpha version, but it works, and we use it in real practice. So yeah, just a short demo how it looks. So yeah, what we do, we just run a install it package and run the configure command. In this command, you can select the type of files, file extensions that will be evaluated by this script. You can select folders to be ignored, and you can actually set a PHPMD configuration if it's different than a manual one. And then you can install it. So it generates and automatically install it. It's basically copy generated file to Git hooks folder. So one package, you include where required command. Like I mentioned before, it's still in alpha version, but yeah, we implemented it yet for yourselves, for ourselves, sorry. Yeah, but we still continue working with it, testing it, yeah, to be sure that it will work in all the situations. So this demo is just an inspiration how you can automate things and check your code quality on really very stage of the development. So, and we are not really lonely with this issue. This is an alternative. Alternative solution is a Drupal code quality checker package. Yeah, this is a set of libraries to easily set up code quality check based on Gram PHP for a module theme or profile. So when you start a new project, you can just add this composer package as usual. So it's just a couple of slides how it looks. Yeah, in case of success, you will see this nice green message. And in case of errors, yeah, you will see red message. Yeah, and with small remarks how you can fix errors by running following commands. Yep, and a couple of words. What is Gram PHP? Yeah, Gram PHP is also a composer plugin that will register Git hooks and your package repository. So yeah, it's a general tool to check code formatting, not only for Drupal. So yeah, when somebody try commit changes, Gram PHP will run some tests on committed code, and if it fails, you won't be able to commit this. So yeah, just a short demo how it looks. For example, trying to commit bad code with syntax error. So yeah, you see this nice man. Yep. If you need one more, it's Drupal conventions. So it's also composer package. These tools also will check your code against Drupal's coding standards, and it's tool also based on GrumPHP, yeah, and have a default configuration tailored for Drupal development. Yep. So small recap of my speech. So quality is a cornerstone of the software development, and no matter which tool you will use, so you not only improve your code base, but also you will teach your coworkers to write better code following the Drupal standards. Yes, and that's it. Questions?